So we've made it so the track won't operate. So when you try to move it, this should move freely, but in this instance it's not. So now I'm going to try to fault find and see where the actual problem lies. So it could either be the actual gap in the middle, so the belt could be trapped there, or it could be at that end, which is the return end, or it could be at the motor end. So I'm going to look, I've assembled this part, so I'm pretty confident it's not there, so it could be there. So I'm going to take the end cap off. I'm doing the 3 screws, and that will remove the cap. So if I remove the cap, that will expose the actual drive wheel. And inside the drive wheel, you see the belt running around the drive wheel, but in this instance, you can see that there isn't any kinks or anything disturbing that at all from operating. So I'm quite happy. Visual check, there isn't anything stopping that. Okay, so in which case I'm going to go over to the motor end, and we're going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to leave the return end as it is for the moment. I'm going to take this apart by removing exactly the same thing, but the 3 screws, and taking the plate off. Okay, right, now that looks like it's actually caught. It's actually folded upon itself. This normally happens if the track's been operated without joining the belt together, and it's been operated with the motor on it, so therefore the wheel will try to drive and it'll fold the belt inside. So what I may need to do, just to release that, I'm going to need to actually take this back apart. Okay, take these 2 screws back out again and remove the fork. Take that off. Okay, just to give that a bit of play. Take that wheel out. There's also a bearing at the bottom, which is a brass bearing, so I just don't want to lose that. And I'm going to take the belt out and I'm going to give it a pull. Okay, you can see it's been folded and broke, like literally it's bent the teeth a little bit, but that's not going to be too much of a problem. Okay, so just push it out with your fingers. Then I'm going to push this back in. Get this sitting as nice as I can. Okay, I'm going to replace the bearing, which is in the bottom. That goes into the bottom there, into the housing. Okay, then we've got the actual drive wheel itself. Now it's got 2 sides. It's got the small side and the large side. The large side actually goes into the bottom of the housing. Okay, so just by feeding it in as best we can, let's just get that round a little bit. So I've got a decent piece of the belt. I'm going to push that in there. May need a little screwdriver or something just to assist to get that back around. It should be nearly there. There we go. Okay, so now that's all back into place. Okay, if I grab the arms, I should be able to move that freely, and you can see the wheels actually turning on both sides. Okay, just gently move it backwards and forwards, just make sure it's free in operation. Okay, and we're all good. So at this point, what I would do is reassemble the actual belt with a fork. Put that back in. End cap back on. Okay, with your 3 screws, they can be put back in. So I'll just tighten them back up, and then I'll go over to this side and do exactly the same with this, but with the motor plate, it's got to go back on with the 3 screws. Okay, just give it a little check, make sure it's free reading still. That's all good. So I'll do the last 3 screws up, and then I would fit the track now. That's it. Thank you.